folks, on today's video we're going to be using an old-time bait rig, an old-time rig that we've used for years, but I think it's something that we've forgotten about, and it's cheap. All you need is a set of worm weights, hooks, and a bag of worms. We're going to go fishing with the Texas rig. So I'm going to show you some clips of some fish I've caught today. It's later in the evening. I'm going to show you some fish I caught today. Caught about 6, and I caught a couple this morning. Okay, this is Memorial Day weekend. Post spawn, fishing's a little tough. There's no big 7-pounders in it, but it's some bass. The point of the video is to show you that you still can catch fish using a Texas rig. Guys, watch the clips and we'll talk about it at the end. Guys, I didn't think I would get him in. I was hung in this tree right there with him, and the camera wouldn't come on. He's pulling me sideways. So, all right, let's see if we can get him in here. So I didn't think it was going to happen. All right, he comes. He's not that big, guys, but he just he mean. Oh yeah, look at that. Come here, buddy. All right, guys, trying to get some early morning bass here, and it's been tough. This is the first bite I've had besides sun perch. Doing a little Texas rigging this morning. Yeah, it's a decent fish, isn't it? Guys, he's a decent fish. Make sure y'all still recording. Sorry, want to make sure y'all was recording. I was recording, y'all seeing it. I don't think he's that big, guys, but we got another one hooked on the Texas rig. I got a 4-inch power worm on this one. I was using a 7-inch worm on the other one, and a big bite 6-inch worm, which, well, there it comes. Oh, he ain't that big. He's not. He's just a bass. But I'm gonna tell you what, guys. I'm glad to get a hold of him. I'm glad to get him. He's just a little fella. All right, let's see if we can get him back in there. This knacker, he might be a little bigger. I don't know. He's just bulldozing. When you love him, they just head to the bottom. No, well, he's acting like it. Yeah, I ain't got to see him yet, guys. He's fighting hard though, and it could be a spotted bass. The spotted bass fight hard. No, he's just decent fish. Let's see if we can get him. I'm gonna pull this net out. Y'all done see me lose one, haven't you? Uh-huh. No, he's just a fat one. Come here, I see you. I'll tell you one thing, when they're hitting, I had to cut my hook on the last one. Y'all seen that? When they're hitting today, and you finally do get a bite, they're nailing it. There ain't no, you know what I'm saying? They're just hitting it, taking it, and going. I hate when they do that. He's not bleeding. I cut the hook. Y'all seen it done many a times. You cut the hook and pop it out. That's what you got to do. Look at that. Look how fat he is, guys. I'm trying to keep him in the frame for y'all. I'll tell you what, he fought like he was 2.5, 3 pounds, and he's probably a pound. A couple things. Now I'm using the spinning outfit here. I've caught more fish because I'm using a smaller worm. Like I said, the fishing's been tough. When the fish is tough, go smaller. Sometimes you can get bit. Now, what I wanted to show you is when you move that worm. I'm in 18 foot right here, guys. 17 foot now. But I'm trying to fish. As I showed you, I'm fishing a rocky bank, and it's a good drop on it. It's a bluff because the water's 81. It's post spawn. I'm trying to find bass that have spawned it and hanging out. So what you want to do, I'm throwing up pretty close to the bank because the drop's pretty good here. All right. So I'm throwing up. There's 3 foot from the bank. If y'all can see where that hit or not. Let me lean you a little way. Now, here's what I want to show you. If you watch your line, now it's on the bottom. You know how I know it's on the bottom? Because I see my bow and my line right there get slack like that. I don't know if y'all can see my line, but when that line goes slack, you know it's on the bottom. Now, try to keep your line somewhat tight and gently pull it. Now I feel the bottom. It's very rocky. I feel some rocks. I'm gonna pull it just a little bit more. There's a sun perch hit me. I don't know if y'all seen that or not. That was a sun perch. He gave me that whap, I'm not gonna set the hook on him. If I set the hook on him, he's just gonna jerk the tail off my worm. Now I'm just gonna keep on. What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna lift it just a little bit. I felt it move. I felt it move. Okay. And now I'm letting it hit bottom again because it's coming down that bank. It's getting deeper as it comes. Now, see, as I'm coming down that bank, I'm just going to shake my line. I'm not really moving my rod much. You watch it. I'm going to reel down so y'all can see. I'm shaking my line. See my line where it's in the water? I'm not moving that worm much. I might have moved it an inch or so. Now I'm going to pick it up this time and move it a little further. That's how you want to move your worm. You want to inch it along the bottom. If you move it in pulls like this, it's going like this. It's coming off the bottom a couple foot and a half, and coming towards you a foot and a half. If that bank drops fast, it's coming. It could be dropping every 4 feet. It could be going 4 feet hops if you pull a lot. You want it to come down that bank. All right. I see my worm spin there. And another thing, this is a small worm. All right. That's how you work it, guys. You try to keep it on the bottom. Try to shake it. Another thing is make sure it's straight across here. Okay. Make sure it's straight. Now, so I came through the worm. Look here. I came through it. And then what I do is I pull it back like that and stick it back in it. Alright? We call that tex-poing it. That way when the fish bites down, he gets it. See, that little worm's got a real... This is not a 4-inch worm. He's bigger than 4 inches. The body's 4 inches. But look, see that tail? That tail moves really easy. Sometimes this is a good worm. I was using a power worm. I've been using different worms. I don't throw the same worm all the time. If I'm not getting a bite on that 4-inch power worm I was throwing earlier, I think I caught 1 or 2 on it. I don't know. But if I'm not getting a bite on it and the bite quits on that, and I'm fishing along at a bite a little bit, I'll try another worm. And I've used this one a while ago, and I think I've caught 2 on this worm. So I went back to the power worm down here and fished it at maybe 30 yards of green pumpkin power worm, and I didn't have any bites. I went back to this worm. So, well, I've got some bites on this one. But that's what I'm doing. I'm working that worm really slow, and I'm just kind of picking spots. I'm casting about every 6 feet. And if I get bit, I'll fish that area really good. I'm going to go back down there. I caught 4 down there in one spot. So I'm going to go back down there in a little bit. It's probably been an hour and a half. There's more fish there, and see if any of the rest of them are interested in biting, or see if it's a big one there that's interested in biting. But I'm going back and forth from my baitcaster with a bigger worm on it, heavier line, and the small rig, and I've caught a few on each. But that's how I Texas rig. I usually rig up a light one and a heavy one. Now I just think I just felt a bump. He's gonna be he's a long way from the bank, but no bigger than he is. I'm here in 18 foot of water. Guys, our fish are starting to move deep. I told you earlier, he's the littlest one I've caught so far. Hey folks, we caught some. All these fish I didn't catch the same day. I caught 6 this evening. I'm going to show you a couple fish that I caught this morning. On the spinning rod, I was throwing this Zoom Shakytail worm. You see it's got a really curly tail. And I was using a 3/16 ounce, and that got lead on here, and I had a tungsten weight on there. This is 8-pound fluorocarbon, and it's just a Dobyns Sahara series rod, guys. It's a nice rod. It's 7 foot medium. It's a good rod I use it for jigs, light Texas rigs, just like I've done today. It's great for that. And my baitcaster setup, this is also a 7 foot, but this is a medium heavy, same rod, Dobyns Sahara. I had a Curado K on it. It's got 15-pound fluorocarbon, and I had a 1/4 ounce tungsten weight on it. I like the tungsten. It gives you more feel and sensitivity, but they're expensive. And if you're fishing rocks like I went on this bluff, they get hung up in the rocks pretty easy. That's a Big Baits curtail worm, guys. If you never used them, they make them in. This is a 6. They make them in 6 and an 8. I've never tried the 8. I used the 6 all the time. That was green pumpkin. I caught a couple on blue fleck, which is one of my favorite colors. If you got any watercolor at all to your water. But guys, the old Texas rig, most of the time we use a Texas rig, we're pitching it in a treetop, or we're trying to do something like that, right? And we got it pegged, and we got a creature bait on there, or something like that. We got a brush hog on there. The reason I've done this video is to show you, you can go to Walmart and buy a pack of weights, a pack of hooks, if you don't have a bunch of money to spend, guys, you're just getting into fishing, and a pack of power worms, some kind of worms. Power worms are great. Red shad, whatever color your water is. If water's clear, red shad's good. And if not, just take green pumpkin and go. You get those 2 colors, you're ready to go. And you can go to a lake on a kayak or whatever you got from the bank, and you can catch bass with a Texas rig. And it doesn't cost a fortune. Shaky heads are expensive. They're $4 or $5 a pack, you know, for 3, 4, whatever. And so this is a cheap way to fish. It's an easy way to fish. Just drag it across the bottom. Do not move it too fast. Watch your line. You've heard me say that a bunch of times. Watch your line. When that line enters the water, if it moves left or right, you see a fast move to the right, set your hook. And you'll catch some fish, guys. You'll feel some of the bites. Some of them you won't, you see them. My name is Dennis, guys. This is Fishing Lake Country. Trying to share something with you if you're a beginner that can help you. And if you fish a lot, you may have forgot about the Texas rig. I had one of my friends here that watches some of my videos a couple weeks ago said, man, I've been bringing out some of my older baits. You made me think about some baits I've forgotten about, I haven't been using. Hey, I said, but at least I helped you a little bit and you'll catch some fish on them, you know? I'm trying to make you think a little bit. But the Texas rig is for more than just pitching it in a bush or in a treetop in the spring. You can use it all summer long. Out on points, 15, 20 foot of water. Go to a heavier weight. Go to a 1/2 ounce, 3/8, and you can fish it on out that point this summer, guys, and fish it in deeper water. Just up your weight. That's all you got to do. Okay? Hey, we'll see you next time right here on Fishing Lake Country.